What's up? What's up? It's your boy. So check it out. So I want to talk to you about our children. Yeah, that's right. Our children. Our children are the future. It's a simple concept that we've heard for years and years and years. There's been bumper stickers and everything. But at the end of the day, what does it really mean? Like, really, let's think about it. Let's think about not just about our children being our future, but about our children's future. We've got to set our children up for success from day one. Like, I've been sitting here from like the time the boys were little. I mean, my boys are still little. They literally just turned 8 and 9 a week and a half ago. That's it. My boys are 8 and 9. Colton made his first stock purchase when he was 7. Corey made his first purchase when he was 8. Warren Buffett made his first purchase when he was 11. My boy's already got a jump. Corey, he's already got this mentality of wanting to build businesses, wanting to build, like he used to have this dream of going to space. He wanted to be an astronaut. He's got ambitions that are like enormous. I mean, he was going to be the first person to ever make it to Jupiter in a rocket, right? His dreams are huge. And I continue to encourage him on that stuff. It's like, I don't want him to think any of that stuff is off limits. Absolutely not. We've got to build our kids up. There was one word that my mom told us when we were little. From the time I could talk, the word can't was not allowed in our house. I would get in trouble if I said can't as if I swore. If I said a bad word, like can't was the worst word I could say. My mom taught us that there wasn't anything that was out of our reach. There wasn't nothing that we couldn't do if we just really put our mind to it and really, really, right? And put in the work and believed in ourselves. We got to do that for our kids. Like I said, yesterday I posted a TikTok. Corey sitting here at the bar, and he was talking about this whole idea that he's like, man, Dad, how do I, and I was just cleaning up some dishes. We had lunch and I was cleaning up afterwards, and Corey's like, Dad, how do I get a gas station? I was like, how do you get a gas station? He was like, yeah, how do I get my own gas station? I was like, what do you want to do with a gas station? He was like, I want to have my own gas station because you can make a lot of money. Everybody needs gas. And I was such a smart mentality. Like, everybody needs gas. What if I build a new gas station? And then he was like, and you know what? He's like, I want to work at my gas station. Like, no shying away from, no, I want to build it so that way it can make me money and I can go over here and do my other thing. No, he was like, I want to work at my gas station. He was like, I want to work at my gas station. And I was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, isn't that going to be a lot of work? I was like, you'd have to, get contractors to lay the pipes in the ground. You'd have to find viable land, get contractors, lay the pipes, get the building constructed, get inventory, get all this stuff. And I was like, what about all that work? And he's like, well, I'll hire a team. I'll get construction workers to build everything. And I was like, okay. I was like, you get construction workers to build everything. That's pretty smart because you're not a builder. I was like, what about everything else? He was like, well, I'm just going to sit there. He's like, I'll be there at the counter. People will come in and pay me for gas. I was like, so you want to work at the counter at your own gas station? He's like, well, yeah. He's like, that's the best part is collecting the money. I was like, okay, all right. So, okay, he wants to collect the money because that's the fun part. That's the best part. And he's like, yeah. And then I'll have like drinks and snacks and stuff for people to buy drinks and snacks and stuff. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, who's going to take care of all that inventory and setting up the store and keeping track of everything? That's going to be a lot of work. You're going to do all that work? And he's like, oh no, I'm going to hire like 2 guys to do all that stuff. And I was like, okay, you have 2 guys to do all that stuff and you're going to work the counter and you're going to have construction workers. And he's like, yeah, and I'm going to pay however many days people work. I'm going to pay them $1,000. I was like, you going to pay people $1,000 to work at your gas station? He's like, yeah. So people get a salary of $1,000 a day. He's not only ambitious, but he's generous. He's like, people, if they're going to work, he's like, I want to pay them. He's got an incredible mind for business. Now he's young, so he's still learning numbers, and he knows numbers obviously, but he's still learning numbers within the realm of an economic structure and what is a reasonable salary and stuff like that. Like he'll offer me to do, he's like, Dad, I'm going to clean the living room. Pay me $1? $1? I'm like, dude, if you clean the living room and, sweep up and mop and stuff, you should get more than $1. He's like, $1. He's like, I'll clean it. He's like, and I'll take, our dog's name is White Girl. He's like, I'll take White Girl for a walk. Give me $0.25. I'm like, why do you want $0.25? He's like, because he loves these at the Dollar Tree up the road. He's like, they have a whole row of quarter machines, and him and Colton love those quarter machines. So he's like, I'll take White Girl for a walk and I'll get $0.25. He's like, bam, I get to use the machine. Like, and I can't say he's wrong because that's what his goal is. His goal is wanting to do that machine. But I'm like, buddy, you should get more than just $0.25 for walking White Girl. But at the same time, he looks at his employees and he's like, I want to pay my employees $1,000 a day, but I just want $0.25 to walk the dog. He's got, like I said, he's got to learn about the fundamentals of business. And me and Colton have been talking a lot. Until we were on the road, I had a pretty growing, substantial reselling business, and Colton wanted to help me on a daily basis. He always wanted to help me go through inventory, help me take pictures. He wanted to help me make packages. He was so excited. I remember Corey even wrote one of his papers at school. Is like when he grew up, he was going to make packages like his dad. And this ambition and this drive, like, we've got to help our children. Our children, they desire it if we help them. If we put it in front, I don't hide nothing from them. Like, obviously there's things that are not of their age appropriateness that I don't put my children in front of things that are adult information. But I put my business in front of my kids. You're never too young to learn a business. You're never too young. There's not a too young mentality to wrap your head around how a business works, how a business structures, how to have drive and ambition. All kids have drive and ambition. It's in them. It's only when society and parents and people around the kids stifle that. They push it down, telling you, no, that's not reasonable. You can't do that. No, man. Corey, every now and then, he loves space. Talks about space all the time. He just now desires not to go into space because he wants to do other things. So I continue to encourage him, man. I continue to, if he wants to go to space, man, go to space. If you want to take over Dad's business one day, I am happy to retire and let you take it. He's been talking for the last 2 months because he turned 9 this month. He was like, Dad, I want to start my own business. I was like, okay, what do you want to do? He's like, I want to do paintings and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, man. He's like, I love art. And he's like, I could do projects and we could sell them and make some money. I was like, this is a great idea. I was like, and he was like, you know what? It was in November. It's January. It was November. And he was like, you know what? When I'm 9, I'm starting my business. That gives us some time to plan it out. And so the last week or so, he's like, man, just turned 9. We gotta figure this out. He's like, we gotta make this happen. He's ready to launch this business. He's ready to get it off the ground. And we've already talked about some of the logistics of how he would do it. He's talked about ideas of what he wants to paint and different colors and different, materials. And he's figured a lot of this stuff out already. And he's all in it. That ambition and that drive in our children, we've got to nurture, encourage, and we've got to show it to them. If we don't ever show it to them, they won't learn it. They won't understand that these things are possible. You see people on TV and you're like, oh man, this is TV. This isn't real. Even if it's a news story, a documentary or whatever, you just see it and you're just like, it's not real. It's not. I've never seen anybody do anything like that. I remember, you've heard people, if not in your own life, if not in your own personal experience, either you've been there or you've known people who've been there, where you go up to somebody's house and you're like, man, I thought houses like this were only in the movies. Or you see somebody's car or somebody's boat or you hear somebody talk about things. Like one of the joys of the freedom of finally getting financial freedom that man, that burden that's been lifted is going to the store and not looking at a price tag. And I'm not saying go waste your money. I'm not saying go through the mall or go to the jewelry store or anything like that. I'm talking about just going grocery shopping, you know? And I'm not knocking being frugal and budgeting, because obviously I'm still a frugal man. I got a family, you know, and I want to continue to grow my wealth. I don't want to waste anything I've earned. So I'm not telling you to waste anything you've earned. You worked hard for it. You earned it. It should matter to you. You should know where your pennies are going. But you should be able to, guilt-free, go to the grocery store and buy groceries for your family without having to, how much do I got in the account? Is this gonna make it? We're gonna have enough? Maybe put the steak back, or, you know, or get a smaller pack of chicken. You know, it's like we shouldn't have to be there. We shouldn't have to be there. But some people think that mentality isn't real, because they've never experienced it, because they've been counting and budgeting and watching their account their whole life. And so they saw their parents do it, they see their friends do it, they do it. And so they live with that mentality of, this is how we get through. We just got to watch each thing, because we're going to spend what we have. Got to do better. Let's encourage our kids. Let's show them that there's a better life. Whether you've got it or not, let's show them so they can have it. They can do better than we did. They will be, my boys are going to be, my boys are going to be light years ahead of me by the time they're in high school. And I'm happy. I'm happy. It means I'm doing something right. I may have made lots of mistakes. All of us do. And the boys are going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, if they got a better life than me, then I did something right. All right. Show some love to your kids. Show some love to your family. Y'all have a blessed day. Y'all leave some comments below. Let's discuss things. Let's open some dialogue, and let's really, really dive into some things. I want to grow like a better world for each of us. Let's lift each other up. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Get your notifications. It's your boy CoreyB. I'm out.